I came to Joy Camp to run better events for work that would bring my community together. And I did absolutely learn how to do that.
To Joy Camp because I needed community and connection in my life. I've been lacking on that, so it felt like the right place, the right time.
What I'm looking for is still the same, which is joy and human connection. And then stumbling upon this idea of not just a party, but a whole like sober summer camp focused on joy all times a day. It's not a party at night and it's not on the weekend. It is from when you wake up, it's through lunch, it's through dinner, it's when you go to bed, in a community of people who are looking for and living the same thing. Sounded worth flying 3,000 miles.
Joy Camp to experience what it's like to live 5 days unplugged with a bunch of people that focus on bringing more joy in their lives and the lives of others.
I came to Joy Camp to push my edges. I was at the first Joy Camp and I really enjoyed myself there. It was a whole different experience, and I feel like this Joy Camp has really enabled me to level up and face even more fears, especially around public speaking, and I'm really grateful for that.
Everybody was so welcoming. I think the biggest thing that I appreciate from being here is the sense of confidence I found in myself from the people that have been willing to open up and be vulnerable as well. It's so funny because I thought like we're all on a similar wavelength. Like most humans care about the same things and want the same things, but they don't portray their life in a way that shows that. And everybody here is the accountability that everybody has. It's heartwarming.
Over the last 5 days, meeting incredible people, of course. So the community aspect was awesome. It was awesome to have so much dancing incorporated into a day without that. The fact that like dancing is just like part of the agenda, there couldn't be anything better. And then through the personal takeaways, I think one of the biggest realizations that I had through the content was this difference between being an organizer and a facilitator. As somebody who's highly capable, I've set up multi-million-dollar businesses, nonprofits, entities, households. I'm really good at the details, but that doesn't necessarily translate into the joy of a group of people. And through these practices and learning the distinction and realizing where I've been hiding and then learning all of the tools to figure out how to bring joy into my own social interactions, it was like unlocking a secret that I didn't even know was missing.
But I think what's much more important is that I learned how to be unself-conscious and all in for the first time. And I also learned how taking care of myself and protecting my joy and making my joy out of thin air can be accessible to me every day, no matter where I am. So after Joy Camp, I'm really looking forward to how I am going to change my life and how Joy Camp has made it feel so easy and free for me to do that.
My God, I've done so much personal growth work, so many retreats, so many, let's get a bunch of people somewhere and let's learn a lot together. This has got to be right at the top of my list. There's nothing like this. Such a great group of people all ready to open up, express, and go deep together and play like, oh my God, I've never played before. Like we learned a lot of skills about how to bring joy to the world, but we learned so much through engaging, playful activities, immersive, connecting, playful. I just can't say that enough. It's an amazing experience. I cannot recommend it more.
I've had some of the best therapists in the world working for me, and yet so much here was new and unique that it was exciting. It's exciting to see this whole other offshoot of people self-actualizing and growing that really didn't have anything to do with like trauma therapy or hard things. It was light, it was joyful, and still people were able to grow without it being like a very serious mental health weekend.
Joy Camp is a really unique, special place. It's a place where people can come and play and experiment. And I haven't had a playground like this to experiment in for myself and since college. And it's just been so fun. And I've been so honored to share so much joy and play with people that I just met a couple days ago. And it really allowed me to open up in a different way, in a completely sober environment, which is different for some people, and to just explore kind of the edges of who I can be and my personality and the way that I can relate with people. And it's been just a really special experience. I've done a lot of these retreats. I've done workshops. I've done the self-help cruises. And this place is special. There's nothing else like this happening anyplace else.
I love that there was a code of silence from, I guess it was usually about 9:15 until when we woke up in the morning, because it meant that I could go inward and really just focusing on taking care of my human body and not having to focus on interaction or other people's energy. Then it also made for a really solid night's sleep. I don't know how you would ensure you have 24 people who are well rested if you weren't all agreeing to be not just quiet, but silent overnight. I mean, that was that was the key in making sure that we could all do everything we could do every day with enough energy.
We're a community and we're all supporting each other no matter what happens, no matter how emotionally charged we get. Everyone's there to help each other through it. And I think it's the support network of the community of Joy Camp that's the most powerful for me. The kindness, the love, and that's all in action and words. Like we actually do it. It's not just talk, it's actually in action. And the feeling that I have with everyone here is I feel completely safe.
Eating together ended up being a fun adventure and some of the best home cooked food that I've had with this quantity of people. Sleeping was fun and easy. There was the right amount of interaction and time to breathe. Everybody was so considerate that it's hard to believe how many people we had living in this house at the same time. And I think that the fact that Jock and his team found the right size location meant it was a balance of close quarters, but not like a festival sleeping in your car atmosphere.
The greatest impact is honestly definitely self-esteem. I could cry about it, but like I feel so like happy going home. Sorry, I don't mean to cry. But yeah, I'm really happy to go home, and I feel like all the things that I've been working towards have kind of paid off by the fact I came here. I feel like, yeah, I've been doing work on the side on my own, and then to be able to do it in, like I say, just this kind of format with people who are also on the same journey was really cool. I feel like I've been really alone in that in my personal life, and there's not a lot of people I can talk to about it. So being able to be in a group full of people who are like literally trying to level up their life just like I am, it's been the greatest thing.
It's amazing to grow so close to people in a giggling like little kids sort of way so quickly. I love the amount of rolling around on the floor, being bizarre activities there were. And I love the balance of how much there was talking about things and how much there was learning and practicing things that I never would do on my own. Improv and jokes and conversation styles and just play that I know I would never seek out on my own, but it didn't feel like I was in like a be happy school. And it also didn't feel like just like a improv weekend. It was the right balance of learning and doing.
I never imagined the type of deep conversations I would have with people, the self-discovery and growth I would have, the opportunities to experiment and to play and to just have a good time and let loose with other people who are here for fun. And that's it. We had a great time, and we learned how to cultivate joy in ourselves. We learned how to cultivate joy interpersonally. And now we're equipped with tools and skills and idea and fun to go cultivate joy in our communities.
Before coming here, I didn't want to come. Well, I didn't know if I wanted to come, fully because I had this idea that maybe it wasn't right for me, even though I knew it's what I needed. I needed like a sense of community that I hadn't found yet in my like day-to-day life. But yeah, ultimately the decision of deciding to come and stay came from just the amount of people that were so nice, and we're going through a similar journey. Like everyone was also a little bit nervous, I feel like, even if they didn't per se not want to come like I did. Another thing I could add about not wanting to come 2 days prior is just the overall sense of like, what have I gotten myself into? I wasn't sure if it was going to be like waking up early was something I wasn't quite used to. Having rituals was something I wasn't like as used to, especially in a group setting. And I feel like those are the things that grounded me while I was here.
I think I hesitated at the idea of 24 grown adults in close quarters for 5 days when I didn't know any of them. I didn't know if there was any pre-qualification, and I guess I was nervous about the logistics. How are we going to eat together? How are people going to be nice together? Is everybody going to get along? And it seems like when you bring together the people who have a common mission, people who want to be here, it just draws the right people to not have those issues.
Well, yeah, the rules, the structure, everything was a little bit intimidating at first for me, and I wasn't sure how I was going to handle it. And like I said, it's the thing that I ended up loving probably the most, because just having that kind of structure around all the things that I never did before was something that I've been trying to implement in my life, but never really knew how, nor felt inspired to until I did it in this kind of setting. So, yeah.
No, my one reservation coming to Joy Camp was actually my age. I wondered if I was going to be the oldest person there. I'm 41 years old. I'm not a typical 41-year-old, but at the same time, I was kind of curious, would there be anybody else my age? And I was delighted to find out like almost half the group was kind of a peer group to me. And there were still people in their 20s, young, an 18-year-old, and there were people in their 50s. And it just was this really amazing blend of ages and backgrounds and experiences. And it was almost like a perfectly curated group to have this great collaborative, joyful experience.
No matter how scared one feels before they're coming, realize that that fear is okay to feel it, because I feel it, but just come because you are held and supported.
Oh wow, I would tell them that any fear they have, they can leave at the door here safely. It's a wonderful support system. Everybody here who comes is looking for the same kind of support that you are, and there's no reason to be afraid of anything other than your own self-doubt. Which, if you can learn to get through that, which is so easy in this kind of environment, it'll be the greatest healing for you.
What I would say to somebody who's thinking about coming to Joy Camp is go, take the leap. You're worth it. You're absolutely worth this opportunity. Sure, it might look a little crazy, it might be a little scary, but unless we put ourselves in new and different environments, we can't really know ourselves and we can't really push ourselves to grow. And I know from this experience, I'm growing, I'm evolving, and now I have the opportunity to experience and create more joy in the world.
We've had people here on this trip who came here nervous and not knowing if this was the community for them. It turned out that they've did a complete 180 since then and have really gotten a lot of value from this experience. So yeah, I encourage everyone who's nervous about this to come and take the first step.
Yeah, I'd say from the outside, it looks like a bunch of freaks in a sort of a crazy boot camp and very like maybe restrictive. But when you get here and you experience it, it's actually the best growth opportunity one can have at any personal development experience I've ever had. I've grown substantially here because the focus is on all of us bettering each other together. And that community is nothing else I've ever experienced in my life. And so people should just come. Don't judge it from the outside because you don't know what you're going to experience when you're here.
It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, even like with the rules and the structure and all of the like rituals and the learning. Everything here is fun, and I think that's one of the main reasons that people should come. Like, there's no classroom like it, so that would be my
100% powerful and always innovating, humble, and yet very direct and focused on what needs to be accomplished, making sure all of us are always getting the maximum benefit of the experience. And having to be that maybe more stern individual at times and to ensure that we're all getting the best experience. And that's really meaningful for me, is that there's someone always facilitating the best experience. And I appreciate that.
Jack comes from a really unique background. He's been in the world doing a lot of very unique things. It's evident that he's had the opportunity to interact with people all over the world. And it's clear that his curriculum is coming both from experience and from research. He's done a crap ton of reading. He knows a lot about all sorts of studies and research and meta-analysis. And he does this really beautiful job of blending together personal stories and experiences and backing those with the science that we have today. And he turns it into a classroom that's highly interactive. Every single lesson had multiple activities associated with it. There was always opportunities to share and debrief after the activities. And it was a really unique format with how much play we got to work into our classroom. So overall, I think Jack's really created something unique and special here. He's clear, he's articulate, he's intentional with every single activity that we're doing, and it really provides an enriching experience for everybody here at Joy Camp.